I believe you guys are running a campaign in May for driver distractions. This is obviously a very topical thing for you guys. First of all, just can you list some of the
Well,
typical driver distractions?
let me just give some background to that. And in mentioning the issue of May, we've got what we call a road safety calendar here, where every month we have a theme or two that we look at, and we give specific focus to that and try and give more information to the media on the one hand, and then also to inform the public with regard to the sensitive issues relating to that topic. I mean, we've had the issue of child restraints and seat belts, of speeding, of alcohol abuse, and so on. And for May, we've decided on distracted driving. Now, obviously, distracted driving is a major issue, and various research will indicate that in the US, for example, they say that up to 80% of all crashes are as a result of distractions, whereas in Australia, they sort of would say about 22 to 25%. So there's various differences worldwide, but fact is, we do agree universally that distractions are a major contributory cause of road crashes and fatalities. Now, if we look at the types of distractions, obviously there's various categories. You can say it's a visual distraction, it's an auditory distraction, or it's a manual distraction where you're actually touching or handling something, or it's a cognitive distraction where you actually just lost your mind a little bit and you sort of freewheeling down the highway with your mind. So, but to list them, one would obviously look at cell phone, which is the only one that's legislated, and it's probably the easier one to legislate because the guy's physically got a cell phone in his hand. But what do you do with regard to other things like smoking, drinking, eating, doing your makeup, looking after the kids in the back seat?
Daydreaming.
Well, that's the cognitive one.
Yeah.
That's the daydreaming one. Fiddling with your GPS, playing your music, changing your CD, putting in your flash drive to play your music, coupling your phone to play the music. You know, there's a whole host of these things, dropping something between the seats and trying to retrieve it while you're driving. So there are so many, and these things happen on a daily basis. But how do you mitigate them? What do you do to sensitize the driver to say, but young lady, you shouldn't be doing your makeup going to work. Young man, you shouldn't be shaving behind the wheel type of thing, or you shouldn't be drinking your coffee with your rusk. You know, it's all those things, but how do you legislate against them? It's a question of common sense. It's a question of mitigating your own circumstances to the extent that how do I reduce my own risk? If I use my cell phone, lock it in the boot, put it off, switch off the Bluetooth. Set your GPS before you set off on your trip. Choose the music that you want to play before the time. Get the radio station that you want. Make sure the kids are buckled up and that you've got all other contingencies that you need. If you need a bottle of water or whatever for the kids, you know, make sure it's at hand. Don't struggle with those things. Each one knows what their unique circumstances are. So it's a very subjective issue as to what a distraction is. Are you distracted by the billboards? Is your music playing too loud that you can't hear the guy next to you? That the loud pipes of the motorcycle next to you won't make a difference because your music is playing so loud? Or do you ride with your headphones in your ears? You know, there's so many forms of distraction, and I can't dictate to each driver, but each driver needs to perceive the hazard that driver is engaging in, and also then the potential risk in terms of what could happen if that distraction leads to eyes off the road, hands off the wheel, mind in freewheel mode, or whatever the case might be. So those are the things that people need to be aware of and take physical note of.